There is a moment a lot of people over 60 recognize. You go to lift something you've lifted 100 times before, a bag of groceries, a grandchild, a suitcase, and something feels different. Not painful exactly, just less certain than it used to be. You notice it in the mornings too. Getting out of a low chair takes more effort. Climbing stairs feels like a negotiation rather than a reflex. Most people assume that's simply what getting older feels like. But here's what the research tells us. A lot of that weakness isn't inevitable. It's nutritional. And it often starts, quietly, every single morning at breakfast. I'm Dr. Naira Stein, and for years I've focused on helping older adults understand how the body changes after 60. Not to alarm them, but to give them real, specific tools they can actually use. Today I want to spend some time on one of the most underestimated conversations in senior health. Protein at breakfast. Why it matters so much more than most people realize once you're past 65, and the 10 specific foods that can genuinely change what your muscles look and feel like over the coming months. Stay with me through this, because I think you'll find a few things here that surprise you, and a few that will feel immediately useful the next time you open the refrigerator in the morning. Here's what most people don't know about muscle loss after 65. It's not just a matter of using your muscles less. The biology of how your body builds and maintains muscle actually changes. The process is called muscle protein synthesis. It's the mechanism your body uses to repair muscle fibers after everyday use and rebuild them stronger. In younger adults, this process is relatively forgiving. Even a modest amount of protein, spread through the day, keeps the machinery running. After 65, the process becomes significantly less efficient. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. The muscle tissue becomes, in a sense, harder to stimulate. It requires more protein, delivered more strategically, to produce the same rebuilding effect that happened automatically in earlier decades. The morning window matters more than any other meal of the day for one specific reason. After 8 or more hours of sleep, your body has been in a fasting state, drawing on its own tissue for the amino acids it needed overnight. The muscles, particularly in the legs, hips, and back, have been slowly donating protein to maintain vital functions. Breakfast is the first opportunity your body has to stop that withdrawal and begin restocking. If that first meal is low in protein, a bowl of cereal, a piece of toast, a glass of juice, the restocking doesn't happen. The morning withdrawal simply extends itself into the morning hours, quietly deepening the deficit that accumulates over weeks and months into what eventually feels like inevitable weakness. The research on this is not ambiguous. Studies examining older adults who consumed a protein-rich breakfast versus a carbohydrate-dominant one consistently found that the high-protein group preserved significantly more lean muscle mass over 12 weeks, improved functional strength in grip and leg press tests, and reported better energy through the morning hours. The goal for most adults over 65 is between 25 and 40 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast, a target that is entirely achievable once you know which foods reliably deliver it. The first food is eggs, and I want to speak about eggs specifically rather than generically, because the detail that makes them so valuable for older muscles is often glossed over. An egg contains approximately 6 grams of complete protein, meaning it provides all 9 essential amino acids that the body cannot manufacture on its own. But the amino acid that makes eggs particularly relevant to muscle health after 65 is leucine, the single most potent trigger for muscle protein synthesis known to nutritional science. 2 eggs deliver enough leucine to meaningfully stimulate the muscle-building response in aging tissue. 3 eggs push well past that threshold. The yolk, which many people over 60 still avoid out of decades-old habit, contains a significant portion of that leucine alongside choline, a nutrient critical for nerve-muscle communication, and one that becomes harder to obtain adequately from diet with age. Scrambled, poached, boiled, or made into an omelet with vegetables, the preparation doesn't meaningfully change the protein value. Eat the whole egg. The second food is Greek yogurt, and the distinction between regular yogurt and the Greek variety matters enormously here. Greek yogurt is strained to remove most of the liquid whey, which concentrates the protein dramatically. A standard serving of full-fat Greek yogurt delivers between 15 and 20 grams of protein, compared to 5 or 6 in conventional yogurt. It also contains a meaningful proportion of casein protein, the slow-digesting form that continues releasing amino acids into the bloodstream for several hours after consumption. For older adults who need a sustained amino acid presence throughout the morning to counteract anabolic resistance, casein from Greek yogurt complements the fast-acting leucine from eggs particularly well when the two are combined. Choose full fat or 2%. The fat in dairy improves absorption of the fat-soluble vitamins naturally present in the yogurt and contributes to satiety that keeps appetite stable through the morning. The third food is cottage cheese, which has experienced a well-deserved return to attention in nutrition circles, and for good reason. A single cup of low-fat cottage cheese contains approximately 25 grams of protein, among the highest of any whole, minimally processed food available. Like Greek yogurt, it is predominantly casein, making it an outstanding slow-release protein source. Cottage cheese is also unusually rich in calcium and phosphorus, which support not only bone density, but the electrochemical processes that allow muscle fibers to contract and relax precisely. Many older adults dismiss cottage cheese as an uninteresting food. A bowl of cottage cheese with a handful of berries and a drizzle of honey in the morning is a genuinely satisfying, high-protein breakfast that takes less than 2 minutes to prepare. The fourth food is smoked salmon. This one surprises people who think of salmon as a dinner food, but it is one of the most complete and nutritionally concentrated breakfast proteins available. A 3-ounce serving of smoked salmon provides approximately 16 grams of protein alongside omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, that directly reduce the chronic low-grade inflammation that is one of the primary drivers of muscle loss in older adults. This inflammatory process, sometimes called inflammaging in the research literature, continuously erodes muscle tissue at a cellular level. The omega-3 fatty acids in oily fish specifically blunt this process. Smoked salmon requires no cooking, pairs beautifully with eggs or whole grain bread, and delivers a nutritional combination that few single foods can match. 2 or 3 mornings a week of smoked salmon at breakfast contributes meaningfully to both protein targets and anti-inflammatory protection simultaneously. The fifth food is natural almond butter, specifically the variety made from almonds alone, without added sugars, hydrogenated oils, or fillers. 2 tablespoons of natural almond butter contribute approximately 8 grams of protein alongside healthy monounsaturated fats, magnesium, and vitamin E. Magnesium deserves particular attention here because its deficiency is extremely common in adults over 60, and its connection to muscle function is direct and physiological. Magnesium is required for every contraction your muscles make. It's part of the biochemical process that allows muscle fibers to release and relax after a contraction. Without adequate magnesium, muscle cramping, stiffness, and fatigue are common and are frequently misattributed to age itself. A morning serving of almond butter on whole grain toast or stirred into oatmeal is one of the simplest ways to address this deficit, while simultaneously contributing to the protein goal. The sixth food is turkey or chicken breast, which most people consider exclusively a lunch or dinner protein, and this assumption costs them one of the cleanest, most versatile morning proteins available. 3 ounces of lean turkey or chicken breasts provide approximately 25 grams of complete protein with very low saturated fat, making them ideal for older adults managing cholesterol alongside muscle health. Slice turkey on a whole grain wrap with avocado and a soft-boiled egg, or dice chicken breast in a scrambled egg and vegetable pan, creates a breakfast that easily clears 30 grams of protein before 9 in the morning. The key shift is simply thinking of these foods as appropriate for any meal rather than reserved for specific hours. The seventh food is whole milk or fortified plant milk used as a base rather than as an afterthought. A cup of whole milk contains 8 grams of complete protein alongside calcium, vitamin D, and a small but meaningful amount of leucine. When used as the liquid base for oatmeal instead of water, it transforms an otherwise modest breakfast into one that contributes meaningfully to both the protein target and the nutrient profile. Fortified soy milk is the only plant-based alternative that provides comparable complete protein content to dairy, approximately 7 to 8 grams per cup, making it a valid choice for those who don't consume dairy. Oat milk, almond milk, and most other plant alternatives, while enjoyable and low in calories, provide far less protein and should not be assumed equivalent when protein is the priority. The eighth food is lentils, which may be the single most underused breakfast protein in Western kitchens, despite being a breakfast staple in much of the world. Cooked lentils deliver approximately 18 grams of protein per cup, alongside a fiber content that keeps blood sugar stable through the morning and feeds the gut microbiome in ways that support systemic inflammation control. For older adults managing blood sugar alongside muscle health, a very common combination, lentils at breakfast serve both goals simultaneously. A simple, savory breakfast bowl of spiced lentils with a poached egg on top is a 10-minute meal that provides close to 30 grams of protein and a remarkable range of minerals, including iron, folate, and potassium. Lentils cook quickly from dry, about 20 minutes, and keep well in the refrigerator for several days, making preparation practical even for those who prefer a simple morning routine. The ninth food is edamame, young soybeans, which can be kept frozen and thawed in minutes for a simple, complete protein addition to any morning meal. A half-cup serving of shelled edamame provides approximately 11 grams of complete soy protein, which is the only plant protein that independently matches the amino acid profile of animal proteins for muscle-building purposes. Edamame is also rich in isoflavones, which research has associated with bone density preservation in older women, and in iron, which supports the oxygen-carrying capacity of the blood that aging muscles depend on during activity. A small bowl of lightly salted edamame alongside eggs or Greek yogurt adds a meaningful protein increment to a morning meal that is already working hard for your muscles. The 10th food is whey protein powder. Not as a meal replacement, but as a strategic, targeted supplement used intelligently alongside real food. I include it here because it occupies a unique place in the muscle health research for older adults. Whey is the fastest absorbing complete protein available, with the highest leucine content per gram of any natural protein source. Studies specifically examining muscle protein synthesis in older adults have found that whey protein triggers a significantly faster and larger anabolic response than casein, soy, or food-derived protein in isolation, precisely because of its leucine concentration and absorption speed. One scoop of unflavored or minimally sweetened whey protein stirred into Greek yogurt or blended into a fruit smoothie delivers approximately 25 grams of high-quality protein with almost no preparation. For older adults who struggle with appetite in the morning, find solid food unappealing before mid-morning, or need to reach protein targets without large volumes of food, whey protein as part of a light breakfast is one of the most evidence-supported tools available. The pattern that connects all 10 of these foods is worth naming plainly. They are all rich in complete or complementary amino acids. Several of them are specifically high in leucine. Most of them are easily combined. Eggs with Greek yogurt, salmon with cottage cheese on the side, lentils with edamame, so that reaching 25 to 40 grams of protein before 10 in the morning becomes a realistic daily practice, rather than an aspirational goal. And all of them support something beyond muscle alone. The omega-3s in salmon reduce inflammation, the magnesium in almond butter supports nerve function, the calcium in dairy and edamame supports bone density, the fiber in lentils supports gut health. These are not isolated foods chosen for a single purpose. They are foods whose nutritional profiles align with the full range of what a body over 65 needs to stay strong and independent. The practical place to start is simply breakfast tomorrow. Look at what you ate this morning. Count, roughly, how many grams of protein it contained. If the answer is under 15, which it will be for most people who had cereal, toast, or fruit alone, then you have found the single most impactful nutritional change available to you right now. Not a supplement regimen, not a new diet plan, just a different breakfast built around one or two of the 10 foods described here, eaten consistently every morning. Muscle doesn't decline overnight, and it doesn't rebuild overnight either, but it does respond, at any age, including yours. The research on this is clear, and it continues to emerge with consistency. Older adults who meet their protein targets, particularly at breakfast, preserve significantly more muscle mass, maintain better functional strength, experience fewer falls, and report higher energy and independence than those who don't. Not because they were dealt a better hand biologically, because they gave their body the specific building blocks it needed at the specific time of day when those building blocks matter most. I'm Dr. Naira Stein. Thank you for spending this time learning something that I genuinely believe can change how the next chapter of your life feels. In your legs, in your arms, in the ease with which you move through a morning. The body you are living in right now is not finished responding to good care. It never stops responding to good care. That is one of the most hopeful things I know about aging. Take good care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.